All right, Dave, thank you. After a decade of waiting, the airport takeover trial now underway in U.S. District Court. Opening arguments and testimony began today. Now, the city of Jackson and the Jackson Municipal Airport Authority are arguing that the state is attempting to take over the Jackson Medgar Wiley Evers International Airport over race and money. A former commissioner for JMAA testified today, refuting claims the state took over the airport because it was poorly run. The state argues the airport was mismanaged in 2016, pointing to the loss of Southwest Airlines and a downgraded bond rating. James Henley said today JMAA focused on improving airport facilities, food services, and reinvesting in bathrooms. The trial is expected to last 10 days.